Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It is fantastic that you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Celine Dion. And through her iconic song, My Heart Will Go On, we talked about the fact that we need to pursue the adventure of our lives and not just settle for routine because there's only one life to live. So I trust you enjoyed that one. We're going on to a bunch of guys today that were formed in Santa Cruz in the US in 1980. We had Tom on guitar and Scott on drums, and then we had Steve on keyboards and he was replaced by Jim, and then we have Greg on bass and he was replaced by Joe, and then pretty much the creating force behind this band was Michael. And the band we're talking about is The Call. It's one of these sort of relatively, not quite so well known bands, but just one of these guys that they just did their thing and they did their thing really, really well. So it's almost like a bit of underratedness of the 1980s with these guys. Between 1982 and 1997, they released 8 studio albums. And the main creative force, Michael Bean, very much the lead singer, played bass, played guitar, did a bit of everything really. He actually died in 2010 from a heart attack at the age of 60. He was helping his son Robert Levenbein in a band that he was in. So yes, and my condolences to the Bean family for that. That is for sure, because Michael was a real treasure in the music industry. Now these guys just had a way about them, they had just a good solid rock outfit, and they just did some lyrics that were really, really, really compelling. And so that's why we're going to get onto these guys today. So there's probably one song in particular that we need to talk about when we talk about The Call, and this is the song I Still Believe. Now this came off the Reconciled album from 1986. Now this talks about still believing. Well, why do we need to still believe? Well, I suppose when life gets a little bit tragic at times, a little bit hard, a little bit difficult, and we think, oh my goodness, how on earth did I even end up here? What happens at that point? Do we give in and think, well, that's it for life really? Or does something rise up within us to actually think, well, hang on a minute, perhaps I can rise above this thing? The difference between those two things, and I've talked about this a little bit before, is this concept of faith. Now we all put faith in something, so in a sense we all believe in something. Even if you don't believe in anything, that in itself is a belief. I choose not to believe in anything. Well, that in essence is a belief as well. Because in the song I Still Believe, it talks about heartache and grief and trials and struggle. It's not belief as in, oh, things are going really, really well, so it's easy to believe. It's easy to believe when things are going well. What's your belief like when it's not? Yeah, there might be a relationship that's broken down. You might have lost a job, or certainly previously with COVID-19. Now our belief has absolutely well and truly been challenged. Is it something that's just going to fade away and be not there? Or is it something that's going to stand up, something that's going to rise up within you and say, yes, I still believe in my future. I still believe the world has got something to offer, and I've got something to offer the world. It can be a challenge in this life to be able to get up in the morning and be able to face the day knowing that it will be okay. It can be a real challenge sometimes to do that. Sometimes we just want to lay in bed and pull the covers over our head and just hope the world will go away. And then through some magical thing, the day will be better tomorrow. Well, for some people, the day doesn't get any better, and they wonder where life is headed. This is where belief comes into the world. Whether it's belief in a God or belief in yourself or whatever it is you believe in, does that stand up when you need it to? Because believe it or not, in this world, belief has to be able to stand up at times, because life can be tricky. And sometimes these tricky situations happen when we least expect it. We think, oh my goodness, where did that come from? Oh, I don't quite know what to do with this at the moment. Why did it happen? I don't understand. Well, you know what? Sometimes there's no answer to that why question. It just isn't. And as human beings, we want to know why things happen sometimes. Sometimes there's no answer to the why question. So we've almost got to put that seeking for that answer to a side and think, well, okay, this thing's happened. What am I going to do for my life to continue? Because while we are in this questioning moment, life still needs to continue somehow, and that's where belief needs to stand up and make its presence known to you. Because it's also through the really hard times, perhaps, too, that we find out what we are really, really made of and what makes us tick. And we discover strength we didn't know that we had. And probably wouldn't know that we had unless we had the hard times. This is the power of the hard time. This is the power of being able to learn during those times and to experience a strength we never knew we had. I still believe. So if you're in a situation right now where you're like struggling a bit and you're not quite sure what's happening, perhaps put the seeking the answer to why to one side for a second and think, what am I going to do to progress my life right now? And if you just do decide a course of action, the experts say you've got to do that action within 48 hours, otherwise you just won't get round to it. So organise it today for it to be done tomorrow. That will show to you that you still believe. This is certainly what Michael Bean was trying to say in this song, I still believe despite everything that's going on. I still believe that life has meaning. And certainly for the Bean family who did lose Michael at the age of 60, I'm sure they look back at this song and think, oh man, okay, something a little bit prophetic about those words. Now the call did have a belief, and it's a belief that pretty well shaped all of the lyrics that they wrote. So let's get on to the clips. Well, we've got I Still Believe. Now this is an iconic song. This is just one of these songs that is timeless. The words are just so fantastic, and it's just a really, really good song. Been covered by a couple of other people as well, so it's just got one of these ways about it. I've gone for, and again, off the Reconciled album of 1986. Now, I've gone for a live version of this one because the Call have had some reunions, and Robert Levenbean, who's Michael's son, is actually taking lead vocals on this particular performance, which is kind of cool. Now, when you listen to what the bass does, it goes bum, 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 that bit. You try and sing a melody while you're playing that at the same time. And then you got drums doing something else completely. It's really, really hard to sing this song and to get it right. And so good on you, Robert, for taking a leaf out of your dad's book and still believing. We then also got the song Let the Day Begin. This came off the 1989 album of the same name. This is the official clip. And basically this song is just about whatever you're doing in this world, whether you're a preacher or a teacher or a scientist or just working in an office, whatever you do it to the best of your ability, because you deserve that. You want to be totally selfish about it. You deserve to do the best you can, because you discover what it is that makes you tick. So whatever it is, do it to the best of your ability. Let the day begin. Because it takes a community for a day to begin. It just doesn't happen one person. We all need to do that. So enjoy the official clip. And then we've also got The Walls Come Down. This came off the Modern Romans album from 1983. This is the official clip as well. Now this is actually a biblical story of the fall of Jericho, when basically it wasn't force that took over that city. It was just a simple trust that did that. And I'm just thinking, in this world that we live in, particularly when we are faced with these I still believe moments, sometimes we think we've got to be aggressive, we've got to get revenge. Maybe the best thing we can do is look for connection and resonance with someone else. And in simple trust, perhaps that's the answer to the world, your world at this particular moment. So the links to those 3 songs are in the description below. And I've also included my video from last time from Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, but certainly have a look at the call first. But if you want to recap on Celine Dion, it is there for you as well. Well, if you've come back for another one, thank you very much for doing so. It's great that you have come. But if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, welcome to the channel. It's fantastic that you're here. Thank you for hanging around to the end. The encouragement always is when you click on a video to watch it to the end, because we talk about some stuff you may find interesting, perhaps. And please note the invitation below that if you want me to look at a song or an artist, whatever, just leave it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to look at it for you. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go back to a little quirky movie from a few years back, starring Dustin Hoffman and Natalie Portman. And it was Mr. Megorium's, I can't even say his name, Wonder Emporium. There's just a really valuable lesson to take out of this movie. So we're going to look at that one next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.